Live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live, all about people out there that do player collecting. So a little bit of background on this. Matt, who's in here right now, Matt is a Hank Aaron collector. I'm a Clemente collector, and John is a Willie Mays collector. And Matt had the idea, since we're all player collectors, to do a live stream all about player collecting. And um, John Wade Boggs fan is the biggest player collector that I watch and that I know. So we knew we had to have him in here. We thank him for coming in. And then Pepino Man was supposed to be here to represent Mickey Mantle, but something came up at work, so we're going to queue up a video from Pepino Man.
Yo, what is up, my fallopian tuber? Cesario from the barrio coming back at you. Well, actually, I'm not coming back at you. I'm stuck at work, man. Not going to be able to make this live, but don't worry, man. We got Orlando, a collector's dream, filling in for me, man. Couldn't ask for a better choice. So enjoy the show, guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!
That's so great.
Classic Caesar.
I know.
He's a great guy.
So why don't we...
I just asked him for a quick favor, and he said, yeah, let me do a quick video, because he was at work. I didn't want to bother him, you know. But he's a great guy.
He is. Why don't we go around real quick in case somebody pulls up this video? Just say what you collect, what your channel name is, and then other than John Wade Boggs fan, say about how many cards of that player you have currently, and then we'll play a game with John at the end here. So go ahead, John. I don't know how am I going to differentiate you guys? Go. 3D John, go ahead.
How about my sort of nickname is JR, so just go JR. So I'll be JR.
Good. Sounds good.
All right. Well, I feel like I am the junior member of this player collecting club, collecting Willie Mays here, as I only started in early 2021 with this, and I have currently 30 playing days cards of Willie Mays. I've got his tops run from 55 to 73. And then a few of what John Mangini doesn't want me to call oddballs, as well as a few combo cards, and also got the Fleer 63 as well. So outside of that, what you see now behind me that I am working on as a long-term life project is trying to collect one card of every player Hall of Famer that I possibly can. I know some are pretty much out of reach forever, but I'll see what I can do over the next 20, 30 years. So nice. That's and I'm the 3D 80s kid. I like to throw in lots of pop culture clips in the middle of my YouTube videos. So like to have fun with my editing process. Poke fun at myself, as well as just share extra thoughts that I might not say with my voice. So
awesome. All right, Orlando, go ahead and give a quick introduction.
Hi, I'm Orlando. My channel is A Collector's Dream, and I do no editing, John. None at all. I just don't even know how to edit. I'm just an old collector that decided to start putting his collection on YouTube, because most of it, you know, some of my expensive cards, like the Mantle cards, are in the safe deposit box in the bank. So, you know, I don't get to see them too often. So I said I want to start making videos, and that's what I did. And one of my first videos, I think it's probably exactly a year ago, was my Mantle collection. And I put that out there. And Vince, New York Yanks fan, saw it. He plugged my channel, and you know, I was very lucky to get a lot of followers, because I only had 36 followers at the time after about 4 months of making videos. So anybody that, you know, starts videos, just go ahead and keep going. Don't give up. Eventually, you know, it'll catch on and you'll pick up more and more and more followers. You know, it's just, you know, just be yourself and show your collection. You don't have to be buying things all the time. That's one of the things that, you know, I don't purchase a lot. But I've been collecting over 50 years, so I got a lot of stuff to show that I purchased over the 50 years. Yeah. You know, so that's kind of what I do. And my Mantle collection really started in 68, 69 when I started collecting. Mantle is at the end of his career. He was really, hyped up and stuff near the end. I remember that when I was a kid, I started collecting packs in 69 and in 70. In 70, I built my first set, just from packs. And I went on to build every set on, pretty much for forever, except the newer stuff. I stopped in the mid 90s. And basically that's it. Mantle was my guy. So I started collecting Mantles a long time ago. And, first Mantle was this one right here that I traded with the kid across the street from me. And that was
That's
my
cool.
first Mantle. And then after that, I just started, when I became a dealer, I really started getting into making my Mantle run. And I finally completed the Mantle run. I got it on PSA registry, and I've added to it with some other stuff and some oddball stuff. And after that, I now have moved on to doing other things. Going even older with older cards and pre-war and all that stuff.
Nice. Well, thank you, Orlando, for jumping in for Pepino Man short notice. I appreciate it. My name is Theo. My channel is called Clemente Collector. I've been doing it for about 2 years. I'm about around 55 playing days Clemente cards. Modern, I think I have about 20. They've all been gifts from the community, which is really cool. So that's kind of where I'm at with my player collecting. Matt and Tyrus, go ahead, guys.
Yep. Go ahead.
What?
Your name is
Tyrus?
Yeah. This is Matt. So we're the card story. We picked up our first Aaron right at a year ago at the Dallas Card Show. We'll show that one later, Ty. But so we bought our first one then, and we didn't pick up another Aaron card until early August. And then about a week before I started our channel, and we've been on quite the sprint since then. Playing days, we have around 135. And then, again, including some of the non-standard, oddball, whatever you want to call them. We have the entire playing day run from like Tops, and he only has the one Bowman. Still working on some Opeachy and Venezuelan cards, which seem to be a little bit more expensive and difficult to get. And then we also buy modern or post-playing days cards. So we have about 380 of those. So a little over 500, around 520 in total for Hank Aaron. So
awesome.
Nice.
Well, nice. Go ahead, JR.
Well, for about 25 years now, I've been collecting Wade Boggs. The nomenclature out there, I do consider myself a super collector. I know various people have various definitions of what that is, but at least I call myself a super collector. Again, started in the late 90s, decided to be a player collector and chose Wade Boggs, and haven't slowed down since. But I'm not just a one-trick pony. Over the last 3 years, I had some vintage cards in my collection, not a whole lot, but I put a effort into building a vintage collection. So I've been picking up as many Hall of Famers of sets from 48 to 1980 as I can. Build up a collection so far of a little over 325, I think, are now in my graded vintage cards in my collection. So not too bad, still way behind at least Orlando and some of the others in terms of a vintage collection. But I have some examples of all the different players, other collectors here that I think we're going to go around and show off some cards that we have of the other people's collections. So I have some to show off. But
Awesome. So let's have a little bit of fun here. Let's try to guess how many around. I know it's probably an estimate. How many Boggs cards John Wade Boggs has? So, John,
in
3D,
total or different?
No, in total. Just put
Okay.
it. Don't tell us. Just
Yep.
All right. I know you're.
I have a rough.
I know
rough
you're a
number.
numbers guy. So, all right, 3D John, what's your guess?
Well, I think I've heard him say in a video how many unique cards he has. Is that what we're looking for?
Just total Boggs cards, yes.
Because I'm pretty sure his number of unique Boggs cards is like 6,000.
6,000 is your guess? All right, what's your guess, Orlando?
Well, if it's unique, I think it was around somewhere around the 5,400 range. But I think that total, I would guess somewhere around 10,000.
Oh wow. Okay, Matt, what's your guess? Tyrus.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know it's around 5,400. It's where I saw in the video, and then there was one card when you're around with Carlos. You mentioned you have like 500 of, right? So I guess I'm thinking around 8,500.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'll kind of go. I'll go 7,500. What's the number?
Orlando pretty much nailed it. I'm right around that little over 5,400 different, but 10,000
Wow.
in that ballpark. 10,000 total cards.
Wow, that's incredible, John. That's
I know.
incredible.
That's incredible.
But,
A lot of chicken man.
1,000 of which are one card. And if we get to a point and you want to see what 10 or 1,000 1984 tops looks like, I've pulled them.
Wow.
So.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I have 1,000. Well, just
Wow.
a little over 1,000, but yeah.
Okay. Just because I don't want to have to. What was the reasoning why you wanted 1,000 of the same card?
Because I'm crazy. If you're a super collector and have devoted 25 years to collecting
Exactly.
one player, I had like 100 or so, 150 or so at a time, just through picking up collections and different things.
Yeah.
And I saw these lots of 50, 60 cards, and they were going for like $20, 20, 25 cents per card. And I'm like, well, a good friend of mine who's the ultimate Boggs collector, he buys multiples of everything. If he likes a card, he'll get as many as he can. Not that it was a competition, but it was like, all right, well, let's see if I can get maybe 300. And in like a month, I had like 300 buying these lots.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, let me go for 500. And once I reached 500, I was like, well, let's go for broke. Who else can say they got 1,000 of one card? So it probably took me 6 months on eBay auctions of buying lots.
Did you penny sleeve and put them in cases, or are they just in a
no?
card box?
They're in lots of these little various size. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the biggest group of about 300.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
That's like 290 of them.
Jeez. That's crazy. That's awesome. I think I have one double of a Clemente card. Like every time I get a double, I usually either like give it away or something like I've never gone down that, but Clemente doesn't have really inexpensive cards that are playing days either. So it's kind of hard, but that's really
like
cool.
I said, if these, I wouldn't do this for his rookie card, because even bulk lots, you're paying $4 or $5. All right. I wasn't going to spend a fortune on it, but picking some up at, 15, 20 cents, depending on the size of the lot. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
And
All right.
and it is my favorite design. That's why I did it too. The 84 tops. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a
playing
beautiful
day
card.
base design. I like that better than his rookie.
So I had a quick question before we start showing cards. So we're all player collectors for the most part, and then there's also a segment of the YouTube community who are set collectors. And Matt's really the one guy in here that's kind of on both fences on that. They're working on Bowman 55 right now. But do you guys feel that collectors that collect players and collectors that collect sets are different types of people, or do you feel they're literally the same? We're all the same. It's not a different type of person. Does anybody want to answer that?
I'll answer it. I used to be a set collector.
Yeah.
I pretty much built every set from the 60s and most of the set from the 50s. But I ended up selling most of the cards to finish off my Mantle collection. And, I kind of got away from collecting sets and changed, my collecting habits and started collecting, just older cards, from the 1800s and early 1900s.
Yeah.
But I started as a set collector. And I just made a decision to start breaking up the sets because that's the only way that I could afford some of the stuff that I could afford. And some sets, I sold my 53 Bowman set, complete without the Mantle, because I needed to get the Mantle run.
Cool. Does anybody else have an opinion on it?
I think it's just variation on a theme, really. I mean, to even be in this boat, you're kind of obsessed with this a little bit, and it just varies on what you get obsessed with. Some people, it's getting all of one set. Some people, all of one player. Some people, all of everything in the Hall of Fame. I mean, as a kid, I wanted to collect a full set, and I would open the packs until I got that full set. I don't recall, who the player was that was my last one, like Pepino's Steve Jeltz moment, but I definitely had that euphoria of when I finally found the last one when I was building a set from packs. And actually, I was a player collector back then, too. I actually have more playing days, Dale Murphy's, that are unique than I do Willie Mays at this point. So
nice.
It was much easier. It was much easier collecting sets years ago because you can get commons for very cheap. And then when PSA took over, now it's very difficult to get to build a set because for some common players you're paying so much money for a common. And that's the tough part nowadays.
Yeah.
John, I started off the set route as well, but I did it differently. When I first back in the I started in the late 70s, but in the early to mid 80s, I would buy the complete set or get it for a Christmas present or birthday present or whatever. So that's how I was a set collector. I really didn't build. Now, it wasn't until probably the junk wax era where I bought so many packs that I could put together 3 sets, right? But early on, my set collection were sets that I bought as a complete set from my local card shop. So I'm a little bit different in that way. But John, to your point there, I think the mindset is sort of the same of that completion mindset. You have a set, you have so many number of cards in that set. And for me as a player collector, I have a checklist. It's the same thing. It's just that one person's checklist is cards number 1 through whatever in the set. And you have an interest in the particular set that you want to build versus my checklist is of one player, but my goal is to check as many off as possible, knowing that I'm never going to get everything versus a set collector. Depending on the big names in the set or the big boys in whatever set you're building, if you can afford those, then there's a legitimate chance that you can complete that set for most set builders.
There's a fine.
For me, there's no end point because I'm never going to be able to say I'm done because new Boggs cards are released every year, and there's some that are just unattainable, that are just that you can't get them all.
Nice.
Because I literally have 10,000 cards in my checklist. My Boggs checklist is over 10,000 cards and growing every year.
Growing every year, yeah.
Yeah, with the modern stuff, our lives are never. If we go the modern route, we can never ever get finished. All right, so we're gonna get into some card showing. So to see who goes first, I wrote a couple trivia questions. So this is how it goes. The answer to this trivia question is either Mantle, Mays, Boggs, Aaron, Clemente. So whoever raises their hand first gets to answer the question. So who won the most MVPs out of the 5 guys and how many? Matt had his hand up first.
Mantle.
How many?
Oh, jeez. 3.
Yes. All right, you guys are first. So the first card showing opportunity we're going to go with is
I must be last then because Boggs won no MVPs.
Yeah, but you could have answered, but yeah, Boggs won none.
That's true.
All right, Matt. So the first card showing we're going to do is show one of your favorite cards of that player.
Okay. There you go.
Sherry for top Sankin.
So this is kind of the card that started everything for us. This is the one we picked up in April at the Dallas card show. So not the most expensive card, but pretty iconic card. And it's actually an interesting story because he hadn't actually quite broken the record yet. He was at 7-13 when the 74 season started. So they were taking a gamble that they was going to get those last couple home runs to break the record. Oop, a lot of glare.
Awesome.
There you go. So
Cool. All right. JR, you're up next. What's one of your favorite Boggs cards of all time?
Well, I had already shown it here, but I'll show a closer up view here. The 84 tops. That's just the design of 84 tops in itself. I like, and then just that follow through classic Boggs swing is just I love in the inset picture. In fact, there is a parallel version. I don't know if you can see Boggs's cap goes just on top, like over the top border of the square. There's a sheet. I don't know if it was a pre-production sheet or whatever, or a test sheet where his helmet or his hat is actually fully within the square border. And I have one of those. I didn't pull it. But again, just different variations of the 84 tops. So this is my favorite base Boggs card.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go next. So I just had a live stream the other day with Club 21, and I showed my favorite, which is 71. So I'm gonna show my number 2 and number 3, 63 and 64. I'm trying to get these in the middle here. I would say my favorite, my second favorite is right here. It's a toss up, but I change every day. But I just love the blue and the red on this card, and how I just love the set in general. I just love the image on there, and I also think the back is just great with that guy with the sword. So I would definitely go with the 63 is my second favorite Clemente card right now. So, all right, John, go ahead.
All right. So I've said many times that this was the card that started my entire vintage journey, as well as my Willie Mays collection. But after having picked it up recently, I have just fallen in love with the blue of this background on this one. I'm just mesmerized by it.
It's a stunner.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. All right, Orlando, what's one of your favorite mantles?
Okay. I got to show a picture because they're in the safe, but this is my favorite mantle. 53 tops. I remember I got this card raw many, many years ago, and I sent it in to get graded. And, you can see all mine are going to be pretty much, most of them are going to be old slabs. But I love this card. I just love the picture of Mantle there, with the Yankees logo. I mean, the red on the bottom, it tends to chip a lot. And, this was a little off center top to bottom, but side to side is really nice. And, it happened to get a 6. But that's my favorite Mantle. And I've talked about my 53 Bowman. My second favorite is this one here. And that's the 53 Bowman. Pictures aren't great, but I took this with my camera, but that's my second favorite. That was really my favorite set. And I just kept the Mantle. It ended up being a 7 stain. It's got a wax stain in the back, but I like the wax stain in the back. It shows that it was, came right out of the pack and hasn't been altered or anything like that. So
it's a great card.
But I love the picture of Mantle there and Yankee Stadium in the background there, and you can see him young, strong, Mantle there. In 1953, went on to win all his awards and stuff after that.
Awesome, that's great. All right, so the next trivia question.
Can you hold 1 second? I think we should recognize our audience a little bit. We've got Brian Hodges 1455 in here. Jack from Cracker Jack Cards. Hey, Jack. Rudog 21 is here.
What's up, Bruce?
Mike, the sports history collector. Scott, Reindeer Studios. Don's Field of Dreams. Sammy, SFI Sports Cards. We got STL Puckhead. We've got John from That 70s Card Show. Looks like, what is this? Is this Matt's wife here?
No, sister-in-law.
Okay.
That's where you get all your subscribers at.
That's right.
We got Dylan, Double D, Vintage. We got Eric, Four Leaf Cards. And last one is James Gillum.
Hey, James.
If I saw Scott's really disappointed that we didn't have a Don Mossy collector in here. So
Yeah.
Next time.
The next one, yeah, he just missed the cut.
Yeah, we can get it. We can get him there with an 80 low pack collector, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So the next trivia question I had. So raise your hand if you want to answer first. Which of these 5 players had the most hits in their career and how many? Matt, go ahead.
Aaron.
Aaron 3771, I think.
Yes, you're right. You get to go first again. So the next category I think is going to be fun. So pick your favorite base card of that player, and your least favorite base card of that player, and what you would maybe do to improve that card, or why you don't like that card.
So it's the least favorite this time, just to be clear.
Least
Yes.
favorite.
Least
Okay. And Orlando, I apologize in advance. Not pick on your set here. This one, I like the card. I like all Hank Aaron cards, right? I know 70 tops is near and dear to Orlando,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just awkward, a little bit awkward. I know he's in the dugout. I just don't understand. Looks like he almost got caught. I don't know. Like they said, hey, Hank, and then they just took a picture. So, but I do love the back. So I was torn, but there's just so many good ones. I feel like compared to other people without all the the hatless shots, he didn't have a ton of ones I thought were terrible. Obviously, Topps could have done better in terms of having a lot of repeat pictures, like in 54, 55, 56. But yeah, that'd be it for us. 70 Topps.
Topps does the repeat pictures throughout the.
I know.
Era.
For most players, right? But he had a lot of them. He had 2 or 3 year ones a couple times. 68.
Matt,
68
I'd
and
have to agree with
69,
you.
they're all about the same.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Matt. That 70 Topps is not my favorite, Aaron. Again, it looks like they just, hey, Hank, what? Huh? And then they took a picture and used it on the card. Yeah.
He's got red eyes, I think, in it too. Yeah, just look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I'm trying to remember. No, I guess not. Anyway, it's just an interesting picture.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Matt. I his 65 picture itself, I don't think is a great picture.
Yeah.
But 65 is such an iconic set. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of go both ways on it. But all right, JR, what do you got? Is your least favorite base Boggs card?
My least favorite, and again, it comes down to the image, is his 89 Topps. I don't know. It looks like it's sort of hard to see here. I don't know what, it just has a weird pose, just a weird, I don't know. I just think Topps could have picked a much better photo of him. I like all his other base cards. I like the ones where he's hitting or even fielding, but this one portrait just, I don't know. It just looks off to me. Just looks like, doesn't quite look like Boggs. I don't know why.
It looks really weird to me. I mean, when I was looking at pulling a Boggs card for this, I saw that one and I thought it was one of my box bottoms.
Yeah.
So messed up looking.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about that. I never liked his 89 Topps card.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna go. Hopefully Dylan doesn't get too mad at me. One of his favorite sets, I believe, 69 Topps is my least favorite base Clemente card. The reason why is I hate this pink bubble. It looks like it's in his helmet. I don't know if Topps did that because they had bubble gum, so they did a pink bubble. But I never liked that. It says Bob Clemente, so that negates some points to it. It says Pirates down here, no Pirates logo, no facsimile signature. It's such a basic card. The poster that's behind me, they use the same image, but it definitely looks a lot better on the poster than on the card. So it's definitely my least favorite Clemente card. Does anybody want to give me a rebuttal to that?
Well, not a rebuttal, Theo, but not all 69s have the same color in the circle for the name.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair
Yeah.
point.
So Aaron, I think is it purple? Yeah,
That's
Maze
red
is
one.
green. Aaron is, I want to say Aaron's more of a purple.
His is purple. I got the Peachy one handy, but yeah, it's purple. You're right. Good
Yeah.
memory.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, it may just sort of like 72 tops or 75 tops. They just slap the color on randomly, I guess, for different players. I don't think in 7 or 69 all teams had the same color, but maybe, or it just could be random.
Yeah, it's probably random because they probably didn't have enough colors, but that's an interesting thing to look at. John, what do you got as your least favorite Maze card in the base set?
It's gonna be right up your alley, Theo. I think because I think you like this set, but
in the Mets,
Oh,
Atlas.
Yeah.
that is just the hatless mugshot.
Yeah.
And there's so many different players they did this to that year. It's crazy.
Killer Brew, they did it too.
So
Yeah, that Killer Brew is I don't have it, but Killer Brew 61, not my favorite, and I would tend to agree there with the Maze.
yeah, I 61's like one of my favorite sets, but I can't argue with that card.
But not everyone was hatless, so
yeah, Maze
Aaron,
could have smiled for the picture. I mean,
well, that could be another situation like the 70 Aaron there, where he didn't even know it was coming. So,
Orlando, what do you have as your least favorite Mantle? I'm curious.
oh boy, Matt and Ty. Sorry about this.
Oh, that's okay.
The
Oh,
55
no.
Bowman
No.
Mantle. It's just it just says Mantle on there. He's you can barely see him. He's just got a small face there. Doesn't even have the Yankee logo anywhere on the card, and it's like a border within a border, so the picture is smaller, and it's just to me, I think it's not the whole set, but that particular Mantle, I think it's the ugliest Mantle. You can barely even know he's a Yankee on there, just only by his cap.
Orlando,
Yeah.
we need to get Pepino Man back. Hey, John, a lot of people are here that weren't here. Can you show that video again, or is it not queued up?
I got it. We can go for it.
Yo,
Let's
what
do
is up, my fallopian tubers? Cesario from the Vario coming back at you. Well, actually, I'm not coming back at you. I'm stuck at work, man. Not going to be able to make this live, but don't worry, man. We got Orlando, a collector's dream, filling in for me, man. Couldn't ask for a better choice. So enjoy the show, guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!
I can watch that a million times.
That's a classic.
All right. We're gonna stop on Orlando here. Maybe you'll redeem yourself here. So the next question to see who goes first. Like I said, raise your hand if you want to answer it. Let's not let Matt get this one. All right. So a lot of these players hit 3,000 hits. Which one hit 3,000 hits with a home run?
Oh yeah,
JR.
in Tampa. He did it in Tampa.
That would be Wade Anthony Boggs, the first to ever do it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna be pretty mad if you didn't get that one.
In his hometown of Tampa, he did that.
Here's my mouse pad. There it is.
Oh wow.
3,000 home run.
Skipper collector right there. That's the definition.
That's a facsimile autograph.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, because
Theo, the real question to John is, how many autographs Wade Boggs or Wade Boggs autographs does he have?
How many do you have? Do you know?
you mean pack issued, like on
In
cards,
person?
or autographs in general, like with memorabilia?
Oh, that's a good question, because I know in person you've met him, what, 5 times?
9 times.
9 times.
9 times.
It'll be
Matt,
10
he was like
in
biggest fan or
Chicago.
what?
Wow, incredible.
I remember numbers.
He knows me and warns his security guard. Oh, there he is. No, he's been great every time. Every time I go to see him.
He even sent you a Christmas card and everything.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
That was a great, this past Christmas. I had been sending him Christmas cards for the last 3 or 4 years, and my wife actually saw it in the mail, and she said, you got something today. I'm like, what? She said, I think you got something pretty special here. I'm like, what? And I saw the return address from Tampa, Florida. I'm like, oh my God. So you should have seen me with like a razor blade or something, carefully opening that envelope so I
that's
wouldn't
awesome.
ruin it. I mean, I was, yeah.
Did
So
you
that
dust?
was awesome.
Did you dust his fingerprints off of there?
No. Looking for DNA and cloning him? No, I did not.
All right, all right. We Jr. Go ahead. What is your this category is your favorite? I know. Good thing John's not in here. Your favorite oddball card of Boggs. So,
all right, I picked the 3 here to maybe just show off quick because with so many different, probably half of them would be considered oddball cards in one way or not. The first one though is a pretty interesting oddball card, and it's the 1984 Ajax dog food. It's a blank back. There were only 2 years produced, 83 and 84. And what's interesting is that from what I little know about it, there was actually no Ajax dog food company. So some at one point here in the early 80s put these out. Like they're non-licensed. Someone just put these cards together and produced them and sold them, but there's no Ajax dog food company. But that's what there's each year in 83 and 84, I think it's either a 9 or 10 card set, and Boggs is in the 84. So again, blank back. So just an interesting. There's Ajax the dog, but
that's cool.
Anyway, that's that. And another one here is quickly the 1989 Topps Heads Up, which is a big cutout, and it was a test issue, and it has a suction cup. So it's when you find this, these are really, really hard to find, and usually you find them without the suction cup because they just either disappear or whatever, or it's hard to put in a top loader because of the suction cup. But yeah, these are really, really hard to find from 1989.
That's cool.
And then the last one quickly is another. It's sort of oddball because it wasn't issued in packs, and it's also very, very hard to find. I think there may only be 20 of them out there. Is the 1992 Donruss Supers or Super Diamond Kings. Supposedly, these were only given away to executives within Donruss. And this one's serial or graded out of it's a PSA 8 because there's some little scratching there at the top. But I remember at one of the nationals at Chicago, someone had a complete set of these supers and they sold for several $1,000s. I don't know if he was selling the set or breaking up the players, but this is a really, really hard oddball card to find. These go for a few $100s at a minimum, and the like the Cal Ripken and other bigger names go for probably $1,000 or $2,000. So cool. Those are 3 oddballs that I just thought of quickly to show off.
That's great.
John, those they only gave those to the employees, right, John?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it even went to beyond employees. I think it was only some either board members or executives or something. I think those Super Donruss Diamond Kings, they're not serial numbered, but for some reason I want to say there are no more than 20 or 30 out there.
Yeah.
They do not come up for sale very often, and I think the last one I saw, someone wanted close to $600 or something for the Boggs, I think.
Yeah. I heard of them, but I've never seen one in person.
Yeah.
That second card you showed, there's a Griffey in there, right? That's like super expensive.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
That would be his rookie year. Yeah. That one, I wouldn't be surprised if that one goes for a couple $1,000 for that Griffey. These are really hard to find, and especially if you can find one still with the suction cup, that's even harder.
That's John. Next time you answer a question, can you put it in front of your face? Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, that's funny. That is pretty cool. That's awesome. Good picks, John.
Thanks.
All right, so mine's more of I went more of the sentimental route. So So my grandfather used to take me to the flea market when I was a kid, and that's how I got into baseball cards. And I haven't been back to that flea market in 20 years. Well, I went back, and it's hard to believe, but I found a Clemente card. And it was $2, and it's 1960 68 team issue card, and it was literally there was one card dealer there. He literally had only this one Clemente card. He wasn't a vintage dealer, so I didn't really realize what I had when I got it. Because I didn't do much research on them. I said, okay, $2. And then once I got home and I looked at it, a one recently sold for $150 on eBay. So kind of puts it in perspective of like, they are pretty rare. Some grading companies grade them as 1967s. So it just like the sentimental of it. Like I said, I've only been back to that flea market that one time. And I mean, I might go there this summer just to see when there's more card dealers there. But I'll always think about my grandpa with that card now. It's kind of cool. So, John, if you want to go ahead, man.
All right. We'll grab this one. So my favorite oddball at this point is actually my first oddball, thanks to Matt. Is this 1970 Kellogg's Willie Mays? Yeah, came to me in a different holder, but I fixed that up. So
that's a great one.
It almost crossed over. It was close. Not too bad.
I love those
they
Kellogg
knocked
sets.
it down half a grade.
Yeah, I do too. That's my favorite year for Kellogg's. That's a great card. Orlando.
I've been debating to get some Corey Yastrzemski Kellogg's graded because that's sort of like my second. I completed that player run and looking for other cards of Yastrzemski. I'm not going to go super overboard, but I could see picking up the Kellogg's. I think his oldest one is 75 or maybe 72. I think maybe 75 is the oldest Yastrzemski.
Yeah. Dawn, to answer your question, it is the Perryopolis flea market, so that's pretty cool. So go ahead, Orlando. What do you got?
Okay, my favorite oddball card is another dog food.
Yeah,
it's the Red Heart Mantle. It's just a great image of Mantle there. I love the blue background, and he's smiling, and he's got his name and the Yankees, and it's just I just like the Red Heart cards overall. And the Mantle is a great one. The Musial is another good one too. So there goes my iPad. Yeah, put it back on here. But anyway,
I'm glad they used the blue for the American League for the Mantle because that blue background makes that card, and the red background makes the Musial card.
Yes.
If they were switched, I don't think they would look as the same.
Yeah, it's like a color match.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy they didn't put it in a television because you probably wouldn't like it, Orlando.
No.
But that was an
I like to see Mantle's face, his image, the 53, and of course the 52 tops, So I'll show you that too.
That is a great card. All right. Well, Matt, the 1955 Bowman set collector, what do you guys have?
Well, we're going to show another food issue.
Okay.
55 Johnson's cookies.
Oh, Ty had fun. Our episode, I'll never forget the episode we did when we showed this card off when the good father may let him have milk and cookies before dinner, some Oreos as we open this one up. So he likes the multi-back cards. Scroll that way. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And so it's and that year they numbered it to his jersey number, which was nice too. The prior year, we're still looking forward to the 54. He was number 5 in the set. Still don't have that one yet. So
is the 54 more of a thinner card?
Yeah, it's like it's longer and a little bit thinner. Yeah.
I like that one. The 54 I love, but that was a great image of him.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we're looking to get it. I've been looking at some. I've been trying to be patient, which I'm not usually good at. So
they're not cheap. The 54s.
No, they're not. We'll get one this year for sure. It's just a matter of got to find the right one. But yeah, he's only in those 2 years. They did them from 53 to 55, but obviously it wasn't in the 53 set. So those nice cards. Eddie Matthews, Warren Spahn. it's all regional issue, so it's all the Braves players from that period. So a lot of good cards in there.
What's the population on that?
This one's actually lower, but I think it's just because a lot of people probably still have them ungraded, right? So the 54 has like maybe 300 or 400 graded combined. This one's got like 150, but I think it's just a matter of the value, right? Everyone that has a 54 is probably submitted at this point to try to maximize the value, unless you're just a purist where you like them all ungraded. Something like Jake or Legends Never Die or something where you want everything to be raw, but otherwise they probably set them at this point to secure the valuation, right? And just to safeguard them. That's why we like them graded, honestly. I know we haven't got there yet, but just to keep them safe. I get handshake when I get near my favorite cards, right? So,
John, before we move on, is there anything in the chat you want to update us on, or anybody new?
Yeah, I was gonna acknowledge the chat. We've got Ken got his grade there. We got W Boggs 18. We've got Doug is around. Decon's cardboard. Chris from Missouri.
What's up, Chris?
Who else is new? Let's see. Scrolling. We got RJ Collect Sets. And lots of people like that huge Diamond King. Looks like we got Peter B here.
Yeah, Red Heart.
And that about does it.
Cool.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. So the next question I had for you guys, the trivia question. So it's one of the 5 players. Which of the 5 players started their career wearing number 13? John.
That'd be your guy, Clemente.
Yeah, that's correct. One of the outfielders already had 21, so he had to wait for it. So, so the next round of questions, we actually have to go in order on this one, but it's going to be an attainable card we want to get this year. So John actually put together some pictures for us, since obviously we don't have that attainable card yet. So it's going to start with Matt. So we'll kick it off to Matt for what attainable card they want to try to get this year.
Before we do that, can I do a follow-up question for you?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
What is the special meaning of number 21?
Oh man, I should know this. I don't know the answer.
It's the total number of letters in his name, his full legal name of Roberto Clemente Walker.
Wow, which
would have never guessed
makes
that.
the Bob cards more shameful.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you for that trivia. That's really cool.
You're welcome.
So what do we got here? Is this we're on Matt? Matt, what card are you trying to get this year?
Trying to get this Hires root beer card. So I know we mentioned the Johnson cookies for 54, but this 58 Hires card has eluded us so far. Been keeping an eye on a couple of them, but Orlando, I know you're not a big fan probably of this one. It's got brown borders, not a TV set, more of the knot hole, I guess. Kind of allowed what their Bowman was planning to do for 56 before they went out of business. So just a really nice card. There's 2 varieties. One comes with a tab at the bottom that actually sat in the root beer bottle holder. And then this is the no tab. I kind of like the no tab better. Hope to get both eventually, but I'm prioritizing the no tab for now. But I mean, a really nice card. I mean, population's, I don't know, a couple hundred on these. There's some out there. They're out there. They're attainable.
That's cool. Yeah, he's kneeling. So
Don likes it.
good.
Oh yeah, Don's in. Yeah, the kneeling cards.
That's awesome. All right, so we're gonna move to JR next for his attainable card.
Yeah, this is one that as a super collector, there are certain big cards that you want to have in your collection. One of them, well, there's various ones from like the mid to late 90s that just because of the production run, they're just so hard to find. And this is the 1996 Select Certified Mirror Gold. And it was a stated print run of 30. I can't necessarily say that this is one that I'm focused on picking up in the next year. It's just one of the ones that has been out there that for a player, collector, super collector, say a Boggs, this is one that you want to have in your collection. I think the last one, when we were doing a group text before this, I think I found in 2019, one went for a little bit over $500. This one here that John got a snapped a picture of is a current eBay listing, and what was it? They want
bargain price of $2,500.
Yeah, $2,500. No, thank you. I'd like it in my collection someday, not for $2,500. But it is just one of those late 90s cards for those who are watching this that are into those 90 inserts. Man, some of them are just so hard to find, and for player collectors, they get gobbled up and put in their private collections and never see the light of day again. And so I'm not sure how many are remaining out there. There'll be one pop up, maybe go for auction. I may try to go after, but we'll see. One day I'd love to own one though.
That's cool. I'm gonna put one on my watch list now, so I can get it, and then I'll have leverage over you.
Well, just so you know, if I'm not buying it at 2,500, I do have my limit. So
that's cool. That's really rare. Wow. All right. Well, I'll do mine now. I feel like I'm a broken record here, but I'm trying to get the top stand up. Definitely envious. Don's got a beautiful one. He showed it off in the last live we had. So I'm hoping to find it. Pittsburgh has a show in May. I'm hoping to find it there. If not, I'm going to be looking for this at the National. Really trying to find a good looking copy that in the 2 to 4 range is what I'm looking for, really. So I just think it's an amazing set. I love how he's on defense, throwing the ball. I just think it's iconic. So that's really it. Orlando, what do you got?
Well, as you know, I've completed my Mantle run, and once I picked up all my Mantles, and I'll show you the last one for my run, I started picking up old cards like this from the 1800s, and what I'm looking for now is I already have Babe Ruth card. I'm looking for the top players, and the top player in WAR in batting was Babe Ruth, and the top player in WAR in pitching is Walter Johnson. I don't have a Walter Johnson card, so I'm looking to pick up that T206 Walter Johnson at the National. And that's pretty much it.
So Orlando, there's 2 different versions. There's a portrait and this one. I guess why is one worth more money? Why is one going for more money? Like, what's is there lower top or what?
Well, there are people that like to collect the portrait versions of the T206s.
Okay.
And the Walter Johnson is a beautiful one with a yellow background. A lot of people seem to like yellow background too. So that's a popular T206 with his face. It doesn't have his cap on. He's got his hair and stuff. So, it's a popular card. But I like this one because to me it looks more, like of the times with the glove, the cap, the uniform. It looks more of a picture during those days, more of an artist rendering type thing. So
cool.
That's the one that I would prefer.
Nice.
And the reason I got that, I'm going for that, is because I finally picked up my Grail. Let me show you my Grail card here when you get a chance. So that was my Grail card that I've been looking for forever.
Yeah. Amazing.
And I finally picked it up, and a few years ago. And after that, I stopped with the Mantle because I got it all.
Yeah.
The big one. It took me over 40 years of collecting to get that card.
It's amazing. If nobody ever saw that video on Orlando's channel, please definitely go check it out. It's awesome. So John, you're last. What's the attainable card you're trying to go for in the next year or so?
Yeah, mine's a little more reasonably priced for me than a Walter Johnson there. So I threw up I've been going the one route with lots of these cards lately, just to make it so I can afford more cards. And that's the next in line for my tops run would be a 54. 53 being a short print is a little farther out of reach. And of course the 52. So considering the TV also maybe this year, but I don't hate the 55 Bowmans, but
What's so talking about 54, what's everybody's favorite color background? I like the white background, so I guess colorless. Does anybody else have a strong opinion about a color that they like on the 54 background?
I agree with you. I like the white with the Ernie Banks.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, Monty Irving. Yeah,
Monty Irvin also.
that white one is special.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I'd have to say the yellow of card number 250, Ted Williams, or the red of the Al Kaline. Those two are just, I mean, the Aaron is nice with the orange. Don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, at
Yeah,
that.
there it is.
Oh, I have that one, and that is, I can't stop looking at it. I love the combination of the Red Sox cap and that yellow background, and for the K line, which I hopefully someday will own, just that red background. Oh my gosh, those two cards I think just stand out to me.
Yeah, go ahead and give Matt a quick screen for the for that card.
Yeah, we obviously like the yellow ones, even though I know Hank's on the orange or red, whatever color. I'm colorblind pretty much, but you got Jackie in yellow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got Ted Williams in yellow, and then obviously John showed it already. It's this want card, right? But the Willie Mays, that's pretty special group of 3 players, right? All in the yellow. So we're gonna get all of them. This is one of the other sets we're building. There's a 54 tops, but yeah, Tal likes the blue ones.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yogi Berra, we don't have that one yet. Like the light blue, powder blue, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Warren Spawn's blue as well.
Blue, yeah, exactly. Eddie Matthews as well, I think.
Nice.
So.
They just did such a great job with that set.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So the next trivia question is in high school, this player almost had their leg amputated.
I think that was Mantle.
Oh, you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess Mantle,
You know,
but
people don't realize that Mantle went through. You know, he was a farm boy from Oklahoma, and the guy went through hell. And then when he comes in to play, he plays with Joe DiMaggio, and he's running to get this ball. And you know, in the old days, the fields were terrible. And he steps into the sprinkler holes and busts his knee on his rookie year. You know, because he wanted DiMaggio to catch that fly ball. You know, let me tell you, he was fast. He was a 5-tool player. And because he got injured so young in his career, he still was great, but he could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, at the end of his career, he started drinking and stuff too, but that didn't help.
Yeah. What could have been if those two things didn't happen.
Yeah.
All right, so we got one more category. I'm going to go let Orlando start, but if anybody out there watching, if anybody out there wants to shout out one of the players' cards that you really like, that we might be able to, one of us might have it on hand, feel free to shout out maybe one of your favorite, Aaron cards or whatever. But we'll see if we can get to some people in the chat with that. But the next thing we were going to talk about is we were going to show a card of one of the players of like Orlando can show an Aaron card or a Clemente card. So show one of the other players in here. So Orlando showed me about 20 cards he has. Orlando, try to get it down to 3.
I don't know. I got a stack of Aaron's here. Let me see. I'll show you one that I like.
That's a good stack.
I like the All-Star cards of Aaron.
Nice.
Yeah, the 59.
That's a 59.
Yeah, I like the back. Show the back. Is that the bazooka back? Or?
Yeah, I love
the
that.
back.
The bazooka back. Yeah.
That's awesome.
How'd you know
Yeah.
that?
I look at these cards every day.
Yeah, I love those. And something else I'll show is the 62 stamps. That's a stamp panel with the Aaron.
That's awesome.
Do we have that?
We have one of those.
Yeah, and my other favorite Aaron card is I'll go with I just like the 62s. I'm a big fan of the 62s.
The back
Yeah, me too.
like bowling alley.
So I like those. So that's the Aaron's. I'll show more if you want, but I'll take up the whole TV time here.
Slabs are flying everywhere. All right, Matt, what did you have?
We're gonna show a couple Mays cards.
55 Bowman Mays.
I like this one, John. To kind of Orlando's point earlier, he's got his jersey, got the New York on there, and then you got the hat as well. So
Yeah, I
Obviously,
like that one.
Yeah. So many
I've
55
got that
Bowman.
one in a watch list as well.
The backs, I mean, just a lot of verbiage, which I like to read the cards. Not everyone does, and then the stats just has the last year in the life to date. But yeah, that's a good one. Then I showed off the yellow one just a minute ago, which is the 54 tops. And then I was going to do one just because it's kind of got all of our players on there, but someone else may be doing this one. But so if they are, I apologize. This obviously got a few players on there. You got Clemente and Mays with Aaron.
Nice.
So that's the 65 liters from 66 tops. Still trying to get the Venezuela one. They seem to really like that one. It's hard to find. So
Nice. All right. There was a couple requests in the chat before they go past. I wanted to see a 72 Clemente. So if anybody else had a 72 Clemente, go ahead and throw it up real quick.
he's got a match. Oh,
Nice. Hey, Scott, mark Orlando down for the whatever.
Brouhaha.
And then if anybody has a 61 card, it said to show a 61.
And there's the 72 Clemente in action.
You get bonus points. All right. JR, what do you got for other players that you wanted to show?
I picked one of each quick. One, I don't have a whole lot of Willie Mays cards, but of the couple I have, my favorite's the 57.
Great card.
Like that copy. And then for Mantle, it's always a toss-up between one card that Orlando already showed, which I think he said is his favorite, the 53 tops. I love this 52 Bowman.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I just love the pose, the size of Bowman, the artistry of it. I do like the 53, but since he showed it already, I'll show the 52.
Yeah.
And then for Hank Aaron, I have quite a few more Hank Aarons, but this is probably one of my favorite. I just love that green background and the close-up shot. Now, this is the white letter. I don't have the yellow letter, which is the, I think, rarer version.
Yeah, that's a really nice copy.
Yeah.
And then finally, my only Roberto Clemente graded card is the 67.
Nice.
I just love the centering on that for a 4.5.
Here,
there we go.
If you didn't do a brouhaha, I'll do a match for you.
Yeah.
And now you can be in it. Here.
There we
Scott,
go.
mark
a
it
match
down,
on the
Scott.
52 Bowman.
Mark it down.
A match on the base.
Yep.
All right. I'm up now. So I've always been a fan of multiplayer cards. One of my favorite sets is the 65 set. I think this card is so gorgeous with the blue, having Aaron and Clemente on the same card with the pennant on the top. I've always liked that card. I think 61 is underrated. They sell for super cheap. These cards go for about $20 raw. You got Mays and Clemente on here and Grote. I mean, Grote just got into the Pirates Hall of Fame. So I don't know if it's the they've never that I know of, they never went back to this I call it Brady Bunch setup, but to me it's a lot better setup than the floating heads card. So I've always loved this card. And then I shout out to Dylan. Willie Mays with Stan Musial. You gotta love the combo card. I think, me personally, this is my favorite combo card in the set. Just great card with two great players. So that's what I got. So
Theo,
John,
for you. How about that Clemente Kellogg's? I know you got it right there with you.
Yeah, mine's back here. Yep.
I love those Kellogg's.
John, what do you got?
All right. Well, I've got one of everybody that I brought to the show. I already showed this 72 Clemente, of course. And then my set that I was collecting was 60 tops. So I've got the Hank Aaron. And then I've got my glorious back damage Mantle.
Nice.
And then I pulled for Boggs something that just felt really different, because if you collected Fleer in the 80s, they were doing some weird things with their combo cards.
Yep.
And this card here is from 84 Fleer, which if you just have this card alone, you think, wow, that's miscut. But no. There you go.
They need to be combined for full power.
Yeah.
So 2 Hall of Famers there, and 2 cards, and all you got is his shirt sleeve on the Karoo there to.
Yeah, they did that with I think the National League batting champ. They did it for a few of them as well. It wasn't just
you're
the
thinking
Boggs
just
and
like
Peru.
me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Another match. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, they stopped doing it though in '85, and they went to the more traditional top style combo cards. So
Yeah.
So was there John, did you see anything else in the chat that was maybe something that somebody would have? I didn't catch anything else, but I didn't want to miss anybody. I think somebody wanted Orlando's Ruth. I doubt that's not in the bank right now.
It's in the bank.
Yeah.
I actually I do have 3 Ruth playing days cards.
With you right now?
No, they're in the bank, but
Yeah,
I'll show them one day.
Pepino Man has made it now.
Oh,
He's listening on his way home.
There he is. All right.
Nice.
Thank you, Caesar, for letting me take your place. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. That's
And thank you for the video that you made.
And I also see Mookie Chilson added to the chat. Welcome.
Nice.
And Sammy loves the 67s. We got Incognito Sports Cards is here. And no other requests for particular cards that I see. So
cool.
I wanted to show one of my favorite Wade Boggs cards. It's just a common card, but I love this card of Wade.
I love that portrait of him.
I love that portrait of him and the colors, the card. I mean, the logo of the Red Sox. It's just one of my favorite Wade Boggs cards. I had to show that.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Orlando. That is a great one.
Yeah. James asked if anybody had exhibit cards on hand. I mean, I've shown this probably more times than if anybody else had an exhibit card and wants to show it for James.
Sure, yeah.
I've got
a
nothing
few
oversized at this point.
I got a Minoso here.
Minoso, nice.
I got Larry Doby.
Nice.
And let's see what else I got. I got a Nelly Fox. I got a little bit of everything.
I think Matt's trying to.
I'm rummaging through cards.
I know. I just picked up a box that had a bunch of odd stuff. I also got a Mantle autograph that I got this autograph many, many years ago. And I got to tell you, one of the reasons that people like Mantle is because he was like the Ken Griffey Jr. of the day. He was very friendly with everybody. He signed autographs of everybody. I mean, the kids loved him. He was like a regular down-to-earth guy, So that's one of the things that, he was very likable. His stats are not the best because definitely Willie Mays and Hank Aaron have better stats than Mantle. But Mantle was just someone that was just loved. And, of course, he played in New York, so that also helped a lot.
Yeah.
Well, besides the leg injury, I mean, he did it to himself.
Oh, he did it to himself, sure.
Deterioration with staying up all night, drinking and partying. So
yeah, him and Billy Martin, and they go out partying all the time.
So I guess we kind of went through all the things I had listed. Something that you guys really didn't prepare for, but I thought it would be a good end of the thing is something I think about, which is kind of strange, is I always think about if I ever had to sell my collection of just Clementes, or if my family would keep it and all that kind of stuff, and maybe I romanticize about it too much, but I personally feel like if I ever sold my collection, I would want it all sold together even though I wouldn't get the most amount of money. Does anybody else feel the same way, or do you guys feel like it should just be sold to make the most money? It really doesn't matter to you guys.
Well, I can since my collection is just so vast. One, when I go all this, and I guess the benefits, but also the headaches go to my son, and I would think that he would probably. I don't know of anyone that would shell out the kind of money in total to say, yeah, I'm going to just buy my entire Boggs collection, cards, memorabilia. I'm sure some of the other Boggs collectors that they're still collecting at the time, they may be interested in certain pieces, but yeah, he's probably going to have to sell it piecemeal. Maybe some lots of, common stuff to get rid of bulk items and stuff. But I just don't see someone coming in and just wanting to buy the entire Boggs collection. But
John, you don't feel like your collection's big enough to be a museum of some sort or a wing of a museum?
Yeah, I mean it could be, but I don't know if anyone would pay to come see this museum here. But no, the True Museum actually is sitting about 45 minutes south of Chicago. With my buddy Rich Davis. His is the Boggs Tavern, and he has about at least 4 times as much memorabilia as I do. Maybe not quite the card collection, but if Wade Boggs is on it, whatever it is, he has it or wants to own it.
Wow.
It's just phenomenal. So that's the True Museum. This may be an annex, Central Pennsylvania annex. So.
Does anybody else have strong opinions on if they would really like everything to stay together or not really?
Tyus has got to make sure he keeps it, right? So we're going to be good for a little bit.
You got Tyrus lined up already. That's good.
Exactly. My family really is going to end up probably selling it for sure. And mine will probably have to be sold somewhere, I guess, an auction or whatever.
Yeah.
I've in the last 5-10 years, I've actually been consolidating. I had tons of stuff, had, rooms full of stuff, and I'm down to about 2 closets, some of the better stuff that I've kept. But eventually I'm gonna continue to sell to maybe get a few more grail things that I'm looking for. But one of the things I started doing last year is because I had not sent anything into grade other than my Mantle cards, stuff for my PSA registry and my 1888 Goodwin cards. Other than that, I had never sent anything for grading. But last year I sent, I over 200 cards into SGC to get them graded, because I know that's the only way that they're going to be able to be resold, where my family can tell what they're worth, because they see the cards, but I mean, a grade 6 is better than a 3, and they don't know that if it's raw. And my collection, the majority of my collection is still raw. 90% of my stuff is still raw, and I could just, if I go ahead and just pull stuff out, I mean, it's all raw. 59 cards. These are all, I mean, all raw. Here's Plusluski and Warren Spahn and Don Larson, all raw.
Yeah.
So eventually, I'm going to have to get them graded so that my family knows what the actual value is of the cards.
And so people don't take advantage of them and saying, "Oh, well, this card is that's not great condition, so I'll only give you this for it." Because if they don't know, they just walk in or put, "Hey, we got these cards for sale," they're going to get lowballed.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, YouTube has helped, because I've gotten my daughter, she helped me with the YouTube, and now she's realizing she knew I had a good collection, but she didn't realize what I had.
Yeah.
And now with my videos and stuff, she's watching my videos and she's realizing, so she's getting a feel for it. And I'm just trying to leave everything in place, so make it easier for them. Because the last thing I want to do is just leave a bunch of boxes full of cards, raw, ungraded, and they have no idea what to do with them.
Yeah, that's cool. So one funny question: if there was a 1-of-1 jockstrap online of the player you collect, would you buy it for $300?
Not me.
believe it or not, my answer would be
Already have
no.
one.
But
If it's a patch card in the card, jockstrap patch.
but I would venture to say that my friend Rich would think very, very hard about turning that down. He owns shower slippers. He owns a pair of
Wow.
Red Sox, Yankees, and Devil Rays Wade Boggs shower slippers. Honest to goodness, and got
Wow.
the third pair, I think, from Wade himself.
Matt,
so-
Matt, I got to hear your answer.
That's a true collector.
Would you bid on that, Matt? Would you bid on a jock?
I'll throw a bid out there, see if we can get it one up. No, it's funny you bring this up. We're talking about this at dinner yesterday about trying to explain to Ty like why you wouldn't want to wash a game used jersey or hat or anything, right? So he didn't quite understand why you'd want to have that, dirty as it may be or full of sweat, like a jersey would have been in the old days, right? So had to kind of explain. Yeah, you don't want to touch it, honestly, if you can help it, right? Get it slabbed or graded or somehow.
Now is the jock strap graded by PSA DNA?
Yes, but now you're at $500.
And are you really going to display that?
Why not? Conversation piece.
I tried to think of the most extreme thing that we could possibly buy. Well, that's really. I kind of went through everything. We've been an hour 15. John, though, did you have anything you think I missed that you wanted to discuss?
Well, I did have one question that I came up with that could be, the possible answer is one of the 5 folks involved here.
All right.
So the Roberto Clemente Award is given annually to the player who best exemplifies the game of baseball, sportsmanship, community involvement, and individual contribution to his team. It was originally named the Commissioner's Award and first awarded in 1971. Which of the 5 folks on this thing has ever won the award? Okay, Theo.
Boggs?
No.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think
Aaron then.
No.
Hey, yeah,
It can't be Mantle.
he was done playing.
It has to be Mays then, I guess.
It was Mays. He won the first award ever given in 1971.
That's awesome. He really looked up to Clemente. If you ever saw that interview, that's really cool. John, do you have anything else? Or are we good to go, man?
I think we just about covered it.
All right, so John, let's end it with taking everybody try to find a card of their player and hold it up, and we're gonna do a thumbnail. And
Let's see.
Orlando, you can if you don't have a mantle, you can grab something else.
Hey, I've got a mat here. Let me show you this.
Oh, nice.
Orlando, we have to see your face too.
Oh,
All right. I think we got there we go. All right, cool. Well, hey, we had a really good turnout. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to anybody who watches the recording. This was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, I
thanks for having
appreciate you having me on.
had a great time. Thank
All
you
right.
so much, Theo. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Guys.
good time, guys.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.